Rickey, how are you dealing with the pandemic over in Germany? How's that affected you, your team, and your family?
Um, I think, for us as a family, we just use it as time to spend more time together. I'm going a lot, practice on the road. And so for me, it was a good time just to spend with them. The team, we were shut down for, I think, early March, into March. And I was just telling them we just got to go ahead this week to play next month in a tournament with no fans. And so that's kind of how we're going to finish the season with a 10-team tournament for 3 weeks, and then that'll be it for the season.
Rickey, with your longevity, you've been doing this for a long time, but more importantly, you've been with the same team for a long time, and that's rare. So what has caused your success, or how has that happened for you, the longevity, the way in which you operate, maintain your body? Because I saw you the last summer, you look like you're in great shape. How have you done that for so long and be able to maintain with one team?
I think it all started when I was at Mizzou, just really learning how to prepare my body for the season and learning what I need to work on. I think I've carried that over in my professional career, especially in the summer. I think the main thing is as I got older, I probably didn't play it as much, and I just wanted to rest more, but I was still hitting the weights, still working on my core, things like that. And those things I try to think about throughout the season. My team here, I've been lucky. We got a pretty good staff that I can depend on to help me keep in shape. But the main thing is just listen to my body and doing what's best for it.
I got a question. What advice would you give yourself coming out of Mizzou? Like when you first came, like what advice would you give yourself now? Like if you could talk to your younger self, like what is the stuff you would do differently? Or would you not change anything?
I mean, my path was my path, but I think, like for me, I think it was all I was caught up. Like I gotta make it to the NBA. It was all NBA, NBA, NBA. And I think early on in my career, I passed up on some pretty good opportunities, especially overseas. Good teams, good money, and of course the NBA was my dream. But a lot of it was I was just worried about the narrative, like people saying, "Oh, you should be in the NBA. Oh, you should be in this," and that was kind of getting to my ego. And so I'm like, yeah, I should be in the NBA. And so I think early on in my career, I pursued it, but probably, pursued it probably fought it harder than I should have. And so I think coming out now, I still pursue it, but I'd be more open to the overseas thing for me personally in my journey.
Rickey, as a college player, you had a lot of success. One of the top 10 all-time leading scorers at the university, which is very impressive. And going through it, what made your teams good? And also, how did you handle, because you were known as a guy that worked hard, of course, a talented player. And going through it, how did you handle when you had teammates that didn't work as hard as you worked? How did you deal with all those things?
I think I learned from the guys that were there. Keon was there on my visit, but I didn't get to play with him. But for the summer, I spent some time with him, and as he was preparing for his journey, and I was just able to see him work at it, and he was able to talk to us a little bit and tell us what to expect. I had a guy, Clarence Gilbert, who was a great leader for us. Brian Grauer, he really took us as freshmen under his wing, and for me, it was just, I'm not a big talker, and so I was watching more what they were doing and what they were showing me, and then when I got in a position where I was kind of one of the leaders on the team, I would speak up when I needed to speak up, but mostly, I would take a guy and say, "Hey, let's go to the gym," or so I wanted to lead by example, and so that's kind of what my style was when I was there.
It always seems like you're around like winning culture, like you've championships overseas, and you went to the Elite Eight with Mizzou. So like, what would you say like just the general culture like was like being around a winning team? Like, what's something like you picked up that like we could like that I could relate to the team, or like because that's one of our goals to get to the Elite Eight. So like,
yeah, exactly.
What is what is like, how was your team? Like, how was the culture, like everyday culture, like just building to be great, like to be a great team to make a run in the tournament like that?
I think for us, it started from the top. Like it started with when Coach Q was there. Like, we saw his passion. And I think the biggest thing is we all bought in. We knew we were a talented group, but we had to put in the work. And I know, especially for me, like we had our freshmen that came in with me, they had opportunities to play right away. And I was behind, Kareem and Clarence. And so I kind of had to learn and see what they did and kind of find my way. And so, one of the ways for me to get on the court was just to work hard and kind of see, what coach was asking, what those guys that were playing, what were they doing and how can I fit in? And so I think the biggest thing for us was that we kind of bought into, okay, this is how you prepare for the season. This is how you learn to finish games. This is how, I can't hang out every night and miss class and I have to be committed. It's a big commitment. I have to be committed to doing what it takes, to be successful. And a lot of it was sacrifice. A lot of it was, like I said, not hanging out, not staying up all night, take care of my body, not eating pizza every day and stuff like that. So we had good leadership and it was just overall, it was just like we just bought in. Like I think, once you buy in, then you start to see it develop and start to see it come together. And I think we kind of grabbed onto it and we had some special runs during my career.
I was just relaying, like adding on to what he was saying. Like I feel that energy with our team, just like we got a real mature team coming back.
Yeah.
And I just kind of feel some of that same energy, just how guys are talking in the group chat. And just like this, we have like one goal. Like I feel like everybody's focused on one goal. Like everybody's making sure everyone's working out. So I really like the energy that we have right now. And I just wanted to see like what the culture and the energy was like when the Mizzou team you guys had, or the teams you've been a part of.
Yeah. Yeah, we all kind of just bought in and it was like we didn't want to let each other down. So when somebody was in the gym, we was in the gym together. And even in the summers, I know a lot of my summers we was at Mizzou for the first part of the summer school, and we went to class. We still was able to have fun, but we knew what was important. And so like I said, if somebody was in the gym, we was all in the gym together. And I think it helps to know that you're going through the same thing together with your brothers around you.
Rick, as your sons continue to navigate through this, as well as your daughter, how do you deal with them when they're coached by somebody outside of you? If the coach is coaching a way you might not see fit, might not approve, how do you deal with those things when they come home to you? How do you handle all that?
I think one of the positive things during this pandemic is I've been able to go in the backyard or get in the gym with my kids and kind of just show them little things. A lot of times when I watch the game, especially here, my kids play for a team that's kind of a youth team through our professional team. And so I know the coaches. And so sometimes I'll just pull my son over and say, hey, you should do this, or hey, you should do that, but not overstepping anything. But like if I see something where I see that he could be working on something else, I just kind of pull him over to the side and say, hey, you should do this, or hey, remember when we talked about this? This is what we're talking about. And they don't always like it, but that's kind of my way of getting my piece.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just remember having a good feeling coming into that game. Growing up, me and Arthur Johnson, being from Detroit, we always played against Dwayne Wade in the summer. It was like a Michigan-Illinois thing, and he would always kind of talk trash to us. And so we wanted to show him. We wanted to step up and show him this time.
Now, Rick, how many threes you make in this game? Oh, man.
I think 9, maybe. I think. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the game before, I didn't have a good game. Not the game I wanted to, and there was some chatter in the media, like we kind of snuck away with a win. So I just wanted to step up and make a statement on this game.
Impressive, yeah.
You might have to have a shooting competition.
Man.
Wow.
Mark, you
My
want to
kid?
challenge him in the dunk contest too, Mark?
Oh,
Man, nah, no dunk.
you got it now. I'm an old man now, man.
I might have a few dunks in me now, coach.
You bouncing like that?
Dunks. Oh,
Uh-huh.
you hopped over, buddy.
Now, Ricky, you remember who that was on?
Yeah, he's actually a good. I mean, like we played against him a lot, so he was a cool guy, man. I felt bad for doing it.
I'm gonna call him so his kids don't watch. I'm gonna call him.
I think earlier before that play, I think I fell on my wrist or something, and I got a call that it was a foul that they didn't call, and so I was upset. And then so I just had in my head the whole time that I was gonna dunk it. I think Jason Conley was for sure open and thought I was gonna throw the alley oop.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
That's
man.
good.
Yeah, that was a good run for us. That was a fun game.
Wow. And Ricky, who's the best leaper on the team back then?
Maybe I think I was up there probably. Kareem could get up a little bit, but I think, yeah, I'll say I was the best one.
There you go. Good. No, man. Well, one question I'd like to ask before you go, because we really appreciate your time. What kind of advice would you give young guys transitioning from high school into college? What to expect? You a highly talented guy, but going away from home, different environment. How did you adjust? How do you go? How did you deal with those struggles and navigate your way through that to be an all-time leading scorer?
I think you have to find a balance. Like I think, because when you leave high school as the best, but then when you go to college, all right, everybody else on the team was the best player where they came from, and I think you kind of have to find a way to separate yourself, and a lot of it is just through your work ethic. That's funny. I got all these memories now, but it's just it's a lot to take in, and I think it's good that if you have good senior leadership or good upperclassmen leadership. I think it's important to listen to those guys, and I was lucky in that respect that I had guys that I can listen to and take me under their wing, and I think it's important just to be a good listener. I think it's kind of a humbling experience to come from being the best player to having to start over again. And that's one of the things that I took from it. It's just, these guys have more experience. They've been there and they're where I want to be. And I was just a sponge. I was trying to, maybe in an annoying way, but I was just trying to ask questions and just figure things out. And I think that's the best for a young player, and that's the best for a coach, and that's what helps the team out the most.
Ricky, what did the Mizzou fans mean to you?
Man, I still talk about it with my kids, and my wife was there at the time when I was playing, and so I still get messages from fans, or I have a camp in Kansas City, at least Summit, where I do what I do, and there's so many fans bring their kids and they relive stuff, and people still ask me to sign stuff. I'm like, man, you still want me to sign this jersey or this shirt from 20 years ago, but it meant a lot to me. It was the first time I played in front of a crowd like that, and being away from home, that helped me out a lot, and was one of the reasons why I wanted to stay for 4 years.
Great, man. Again, we appreciate all you do, Ricky, man, and of course, this is your home anytime. You're more than welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Coach.